Hello everyone, my name is Abby Bliss White and welcome to my channel. It is Friday and that means we are doing a full face Friday, and today we're going to be doing a full face of Pat McGrath. We're going to be using the Bronze Seduction palette as well as the full complexion system and my favorite lip combo recently. So if you're interested in seeing how I got this look using all Pat McGrath products, then let's go ahead and get started. Okay, we are gonna be using the whole Pat McGrath complexion system, and I am going to be using the Pat McGrath, this is the Sublime foundation, and you guys, I've kind of fallen in love with this. Now, when I initially tried it, I did not try it with her primer, and I wasn't the hugest fan. It kind of made my skin feel sort of tight, and I have to be honest, when I added the primer in, I have just completely fallen in love with this foundation. It just looks flawless on the skin, so her whole system does work. I'm going to be using a pump of this, maybe a little bit more, just like that. And we're going to put that primer all over. It just feels very cooling and hydrating. So as you know, I am not a huge primer girl, but I have to say using it with this guy just makes your skin super flawless. So you could definitely use a different primer. I just had gotten the one that went with, because you guys know I like to be matchy. So I'm in the shade 9 in this one, and you guys, it's just really a nice thin kind of foundation, so very serum-y, and it just kind of perfects the skin. And I've just been really liking it. So a few videos that I've used this in, I have gotten questions as to what I was wearing, and this was the foundation. So when I want my skin to look kind of spot on, I will use this guy. So you can use your fingertips or a sponge. I tend to use my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Complexion brush because that's my favorite foundation brush. And I will just sort of buff this into the skin. And again, you guys, it is just sort of seamless on the skin, very thin, and it feels very comfortable. So once I added the serum, once I added the Sublime Perfection Primer, I have just really enjoyed this foundation. So if you have dry, kind of more mature skin and you tried this and were not in love, I would highly recommend using a hydrating kind of primer or the one that she made to go with it. Okay, we're gonna let that kind of sink into the skin, and then we're gonna use the Pat McGrath concealer. This is another one that I am pleasantly surprised by. It is fuller coverage, and in this one I'm in shade 6, and I just use a little bit here, you guys, and then of course if you have any other spots or such, you can use this to cover them up. I'm just gonna kind of leave mine a little bit more skin like today, and I'm gonna use my ring fingers here, and it just, this one again has a really nice kind of texture. It definitely has coverage. So I'm just gonna kind of gently put it in my wrinkle areas, but kind of pull it down to the top of my cheekbones here and then bring it out to the side. And I kind of take a minute to actually really push this into the skin. You can see it's definitely brightening up. Kind of bring a little bit down my nose. Now we've got the concealer on, we've got the foundation, and then I'm going to set it with the Pat McGrath powder. And I'm just going to use a little bit of this. This again is a very nice powder, very finely milled, and I just use a little bit. we'll be using the under eye powder, which is true magic. It just completely brightens up underneath that eye area, and I never thought that I would use powder underneath my eyeballs because I felt like that would just make me look 100 years old, but that stuff really is amazing. Okay, technical difficulty, my battery died, but I did put some of that powder underneath my eyes. I'm hoping that it got filmed, but if it didn't, I just don't want to add any more powder underneath there, so sorry if it got lost. We'll hope for the best. We're having one of those days already. Okay, for eyes, I'm going to be using the Pat McGrath Bronze Seduction. I don't know if I have used this on camera. As I said, you guys, I am not a huge palette girl, but I have to say this is gorgeous. Such a beautiful palette, and again, the quality of her shadows is amazing. I probably just need to get over being so worried about palettes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a little bit of a bronzy eye look today. I think I'm going to be focusing on this beauty right here, and we'll just have a little bit of fun. I'm going to start by creating a little crease shade with this guy, and this is in Engagement. I'm using the Sonia G Blender Pro, and I am just going to create a little shadow here. These are highly pigmented eyeshadows. Taking whatever is left on my brush, and I'm just pulling that down all over the lid as well. Just a little bit. Light hand. Okay, such a pretty little color here. I'm gonna go in with my Sonia G Blender Pro, and I'm gonna go into this Guilty Pleasure. And you guys, this is just such a pretty color. And I'm gonna add a little bit of this to my lid. That's just such a pretty kind of color, not over the top glittery, but very pretty. Okay guys, we're gonna finish off the eye. I want to deepen kind of the V over here, and then I am tempted to pop a little bit of this beautiful little green shade, just a little bit. Maybe we'll pop a little bit right in the iris, we'll see. Okay, I'm gonna go in with this darker shade right here, and that is Disobedient. And I'm using my little definer smudger brush, and I'm just going to place a little bit on this deeper color here, and we are going to deepen up the V. Don't worry, we'll blend everything out. If it's looking a little dark, I'm just gonna pull a little bit of that color down here. I'll blend in a minute. Just gonna take a little fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna soften and then pull any extra just a little bit up into that crease. Then for fun, I'm just gonna use my finger and see how pretty that is. We're just gonna put a teeny little pop. It'll kind of lighten this look up. Whoa, you guys look at that. crazy. Whoa, look at, I'm taking that flat edge Blender Pro and I'm just gonna kind of dab that on. Sort of fun. Then we're gonna use the Pat McGrath. This is Black Coffee, kind of your perfect deep chocolate brown. Okay, I'm just gonna line close to my lash line. Having a little fun with makeup today. Okay guys, kind of a fun little seductive bronze eye today. I'm gonna go clean up my brows, put on some mascara, and then we'll finish off the face. Okay guys, we've got eyes on and mascara, cleaned up the brows, and then I did put on a little bit of bronzer and blush, but I don't have any Pat McGrath, and I was going to just finish off with one of my favorite Pat McGrath lip looks. So one of my favorite lip liners is the Pat McGrath. This is in Bare Rose. Just a really great kind of neutral that's leaning on more of that rose pink tone. And I'm just gonna line my lips. Okay, for the lips, we are going to use Flesh 3. This is in the Lip Fetish Balm, and I love these. They're sheer, but I love these because they are sheer. They're just super easy to wear, and this color is like a very nice kind of warm kind of nude, and I'm going to put that on. And then I like to top it with my favorite lip gloss from her, and this is Dare to Bear. Kind of your perfect little nudie kind of gloss. These are just fabulous. They don't feel super goopy on your lips. And this is one that I use like with a lot of different lip colors. I just love to top it off because it's got a little bit of a sheen to it. And this is Dare to Bear. So just as you can see, it's a little bit peachy, nice nude, goes with everything, and they're just really lovely and comfortable on the lips. They also stay on longer than traditional kind of glosses, which I also really like. Okay guys, this is my full face Friday using some Pat McGrath items. Haven't used this on camera, do not know why, but I'm going to be pulling it out and playing with it more. Just such a beautiful collection of shades, and for someone like myself, they are very wearable. I also have to say the longevity of the wear of these eyeshadows is amazing. So that is one thing. I know that I've got a subscriber who always tells me about that, but these shadows will stay on your lids all day long. I did not prime my eyes with any kind of eyeshadow primer. I just used concealer, and they just work fantastic. So a little bit of fun on this Friday, and I do have to just tell you, you guys really have fallen in love with the whole complexion line. I'm using the whole entire system with the primer and the powder, and I just love it. This has quickly become one of my favorite foundations. So this is my look for the day. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend, and I will be back with another video soon.